Welcome to another episode of the Filipino Genealogy channel. Today, we are going to talk about the genealogy of our national hero and discuss the 10 things that we need to know about his family history. Number 1. While Rizal was part Chinese, he never acknowledged his Chinese roots. The Chinese ancestry of Jose Rizal has long been established. However, it would appear that Rizal himself was not very proud of his Chinese ancestry. Rizal had always taken pride in being a Malay native and had never identified with the Chinese. In fact, according to Austin quotes, when the document of his execution was shown to him, Rizal drew attention to the fact that he was incorrectly described as a Chinese mestizo, because one of the aims of the Spanish government was to publicly humiliate him that he was not even a real Filipino. Rizal insisted that this was wrong and said that he was an Indio puro, or a pure Indio. Rizal's novels are also replete with insults and scorn for the Chinese immigrants in the Philippines. One of his characters in En Filibusterismo, Quiroga, was actually none other than Carlos Palanca Tan Quien Chien, who was then the leader of the Chinese community. Based on his writings, the Chinese were described as artificial in manner, hypocritical, cunning, a bootlicker of government officials, and engaged in business intent only on nothing but profit. A descendant of Rizal's sister became Miss International and Tourism Secretary. A great-granddaughter of Rizal's sister Maria is Gemma Cruz Araneta, who holds the distinction of being the first Filipino and the first Asian to win the title of Miss International. She was later appointed to the position of Secretary of the Department of Tourism during the term of President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. Cousin of President Duterte married the daughter of Jose Rizal's sister, Lucia. Based on the genealogy of the Dutertes and the Rizals, it is clear that the third cousin of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Escolastico S. Duterte, married Concepcion Rizal Herbosa, who was the daughter of Lucia Rizal, the sister of Jose Rizal. Rizal's immortal love, Leonor Rivera, was his cousin. Jose Rizal and his great love, Leonor Rivera, were always described as cousins, although nothing documented exactly how they were related. Although some books have written that the relationship was through the Mercado and Rizal lines, others have postulated that in fact the relationship was through Leonor's mother's side of the family. Of course, Jose Rizal and Leonor Rivera were never married. A widow from the Rizal family married into a family that became connected to Bonifacio because of another widow's remarriage. It is interesting to note that because of the intermarriages of the old Katipunan families of Luzon, the two foremost Philippine heroes, Jose Rizal and Gat Andres Bonifacio, became cousins by marriage. More interesting here is a little historical twist. A widow from the Rizal family married into a family that became connected to Bonifacio because of another widow's remarriage. Andres Bonifacio's widow was Gregoria de Jesus. After Bonifacio's death, she married Julio Nakpil. Julio Nakpil, upon the request of Bonifacio, composed and wrote the lyrics of a national anthem called Marangal na Dalit ng Katagalugan. It is one of the what-ifs of history that if Bonifacio had his way and was not assassinated, then Nakpil's song and not Julian Felipe's Lupang Hinirang would have been our national anthem today. A younger brother of Julio Nakpil, Ramon, had a son, Angel Nakpil. When Angel's first wife died, he remarried to Carmen Guerrero, herself a widow. Carmen's first husband, Ismael Cruz, was the grandson of Maria Rizal, a sister of Jose Rizal. So when the widow Carmen Guerrero married Angel Nakpil, himself the nephew of someone who remarried another widow, the Philippines' two greatest heroes became cousins. Number 6. Rizal was not a Lacandoula descendant. It is intriguing to note that Jose Rizal, while interested in genealogy even at an early age, never mentioned or claimed that he was a descendant of Lacandoula. The earliest references, in fact, to Rizal being a descendant of Lacandoula was made by American author Austin Craig. In his book Lineage, Life, and Labors of Jose Rizal, he wrote that all branches of Teodora Alonso's family were richer than that of her husband's, and several names of these related families belonged among the descendants of Lacandoula, as traced by Mr. Luther Parker in his study of the Pampangan migration. Craig later elaborated on this connection in a 1928 article in the Philippine Education magazine, where he wrote that the Castro connection of the Alonsos, though no longer verifiable, ran back to the old Rajas of Manila, the family of Raja Matanda, Soliman, and Lacandoula. Unfortunately for Mr. Austin Craig, he was not able to provide any irrefutable proof of how Rizal descended from Lacandoula. So, as for now, it is clear that Rizal was not Lacandoula's descendant. Number 7. The origin of the surname Rizal is Arabic. To comply with the Claveria Decree of 1849, it is said that the Mercado family decided on the surname Rizal, which means the green of young growth, or green fields. However, according to some researchers, the original surname that the Mercados adopted was already Rizal, because this last name was derived from the word Rizal, which comes from ros, the Spanish and Arabic word for rice, or from the Arabic word rijal, meaning men. Number 8. All branches of Teodora Alonso's family were much richer than the relatives of her husband. Teodora Alonso's family had numerous lawyers and priests among them, the old-time proof of social standing. Relatives of Teodora Alonso who were in the professions may help to understand the prominence of the family. Felix Florentino, for example, was an uncle and the first clerk of Nueva Segovia, or which is today Vigan. A cousin, Jose Florentino, was a Philippine deputy in the Spanish Cortes and a lawyer of note, as was also his brother Manuel. Another relative was Clerk Reyes of the Court of First Instance in Manila. The priest of Rosario, vicar of Batangas Province, Father Leyva, was a half-blood relative, and another priestly relative was an uncle of Teodora Alonso, Father Alonso. Number 9. Cousin marriages were tolerated by the Rizals. While Jose Rizal and his cousin Leonor Rivera were never married, a first cousin marriage did occur in the Rizal family, with the marriage of Emiliana Rizal and Antonio Rizal Lopez, who were first cousins. Emiliana was the illegitimate daughter of Paciano Rizal with Severina de Sena, while Antonio was the son of Paciano's sister Narcisa and her husband Antonino Lopez. Number 10. Rizal's Japanese ancestry cannot be confirmed. While many later biographies of Jose Rizal would claim that his Ochoa or Ursua branch of the family, as can be seen here, Teodora Alonso was a great-granddaughter of Eugenio Ursua, or in some records Ochoa, through his daughter Regina and her daughter Brigida de Quintos. While many would claim that they are of Japanese extraction, nowhere in Austin Craig's comprehensive and well-researched genealogy of Rizal is it mentioned that Rizal's maternal family had Japanese ancestry. It is still not clear where the claim of Japanese roots originated. It for our discussion on the 10 things about national hero Jose Rizal's genealogy. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope that you will watch our other upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and stay safe, everyone.